But I'm here to tell you, man, there has been a lot of drama today behind the scenes of the W. Now we got Sophie Cunningham talking trash about Angel Reese. We got A'ja Wilson. Man, we got a bunch to talk about, guys. For this one here, there has been a lot of drama going on behind the scenes, man. With A'ja Wilson firing shots at Aaliyah Boston. We got Sophie Cunningham in serious hot water.
A single playful joke, call me Angel Reese, and the whole league is instantly ablaze. She's being called racist, jealous, a clout chaser. But what if this innocent quip was no mistake at all, and in fact exposed something far darker about women's basketball?
This is wild. Sophie Cunningham has everybody up in arms. Everybody's up in arms. They calling her a clout chaser. They're calling her racist. All types of stuff. All types of stuff. Sophie knows how to stir the pot. Shots fired at Angel Reese.
It exposed a double standard no one in the WNBA wishes to discuss. Let's break this down. It all began when Sophie Cunningham was on her podcast discussing her new diet. She mentioned cutting gluten, eating chicken, and joked, "I guess I'm turning into a Victoria's Secret model. Call me Angel Reese." That was all.
A huge one I forgot to mention is gluten, which is in every car pretty much possible. And I know they make like gluten-free stuff, but that tastes weird to me. I can still eat chicken. That's good. Yeah, I feel like I'm going to be kind of turning into a rabbit. So, I don't know. I guess I'm going to turn into a Victoria's Secret model. Call me Angel Reese.
In mere hours, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok erupted. People accused Sophie of mocking Angel's body, of being jealous of her modeling success, of punching up for attention, and within a day, the comment section became a war zone. Race was immediately dragged into it. People labeled Sophie racist, insecure, and desperate for clout. But this is where things get fascinating, and it's the part nearly everyone missed, because Sophie Cunningham did not stumble into this controversy. She created it on purpose. You see, Sophie is no longer just a player. She's building a media brand. She is 1/3 of a podcast titled Tres Leches. She's moving into the media space and knows precisely what gets people talking. Controversy builds engagement. Engagement creates brand value. And in 2025, no names generate more engagement than Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. By naming Angel, Sophie instantly pushed herself into the league's most viral discussion. It was not random. It was strategic. She knew exactly what she was doing. Consider this. Angel Reese is one of the most well-known faces in sports today. She walked the Victoria's Secret runway.
Is this one. So, somebody sent me this. This was Aaliyah Boston basically being attacked by A'ja Wilson. So, A'ja Wilson shared this on her story. She stated, "The only special whistle I know."
She has national sponsorships, millions of followers, and mainstream appeal that very few WNBA players have ever had. By jokingly referring to herself as Angel Reese, Sophie placed herself directly in the middle of that spotlight, and each reaction, good or bad, only amplified her relevance. The people calling her a clout chaser are in fact proving her point, as we're all talking about her now, and that is precisely what she wanted. But underneath that, there's a much deeper thing happening, and it's what has long-time WNBA fans so divided, because the anger over Sophie's joke exposed a double standard which has been brewing for years. When Caitlin Clark makes media appearances, people claim she is distracted. When Angel Reese does them, she is building her brand. When Sophie Cunningham jokes about it, she is a racist. Same behavior, different reactions, and it's not a coincidence. It is a reflection of just how fractured the WNBA's culture has now become. People want to discuss growth, visibility, and unity, but behind the scenes exist resentment, division, and hypocrisy. It is not just about the basketball anymore. It is about who gets to say what. Now let's zoom out, as around the same time Sophie's clip went viral, another star, A'ja Wilson, was embroiled in her own controversy. On to the next story, and that, my friends, is this one right here. So somebody sent this to me. This was A'ja Wilson basically attacking Aaliyah Boston.
We get what Sophie really did.
First of all, let's just take a moment to appreciate this. Angel Reese, the first professional athlete to ever walk the Victoria's Secret fashion show runway. Yeah, that's right. I made history. Again. I told everyone I was the Bayou Barbie. I never said which court I'd be dominating next. One week I'm grabbing rebounds, the next week I'm grabbing hearts. And let's be honest, Caitlin Clark could never. This runway requires elegance, rhythm, and just the right amount of attitude. She's got the jump shot, but I've got the walk shot. People ask me if I was nervous walking alongside supermodels. Please. I've been walking over defenders my entire career. This was just with better lighting and heels. I'm proud to represent athletes everywhere, proving we can dunk and still look like $1 billion doing it. So to all my fans out there, celebrate me, love me, adore me. Because the Reese era is not just taking over basketball, it's taking over the world.
I know. At the Las Vegas Aces Championship celebration, Asia grabbed a whistle and stated, "The only special whistle I know." She was mocking the critics who accused her of receiving special treatment from referees. But here's the issue, that game she's joking about. She shot 19 free throws. That is more than the entire Phoenix Mercury team combined. Let that sink in. One player had more free throws than a whole roster, and instead of acknowledging that reality, Asia laughed it off. She mocked the critique. Now compare the responses. Sophie makes a harmless joke and gets blasted. Asia mocks a legitimate officiating bias and people applaud her. No fury, no accusations, no cancellation. It is the same pattern, just in reverse. Some players get shielded, others get punished, and the outcome is a credibility problem the WNBA cannot ignore anymore. Caitlin Clark gets hammered on the court with no calls. Asia Wilson gets breathed on, and the refs blow the whistle. Aaliyah Boston gets hacked in the paint, nothing. Meanwhile, Asia is mocking anyone who even questions it. And the fans notice. They notice the bias. They notice the favoritism, and they are losing trust. Because how can a league expand when its stars receive different treatment, not based on their performance, but on popularity and on perception? Back to Sophie. Her joke did not destroy Angel Reese.
Now, it's being reported that Caitlin Clark will return to the Anika to participate in the LPGA Tour Pro Amateur event on November the 12th. Tournament officials announced this past Thursday, which is today. This news just came out maybe about 5 to 10 minutes ago. This is big time news, and I'm telling you right now, this is going to break the damn.
It destroyed the myth that this league plays fair in its competition or in its conversation. People can act like it is about a joke, but the truth is, it was about control, about who is allowed to comment, who is allowed to laugh, who is allowed to be in the spotlight without being torn down. Sophie's words were not cruel, they were calculated. She saw what Angel did, turning fame to business, and she followed that same playbook. That is not jealousy, that is smart. Yet here's the awkward truth that everyone is avoiding. When Angel Reese leverages her fame, she is praised. When Sophie does it, she is punished. And that double standard is precisely why this story went viral. Because deep down, fans are not mad that Sophie told a joke. They are mad that she used the same system others use and made it work. That is the hypocrisy at the core of women's basketball today. You can talk about empowerment, equality, and growth, but if one joke can create this much chaos, it just shows how delicate everything really is. The WNBA was once about basketball. Now it is about the drama around basketball. Every single headline is a controversy. Every single conversation is racial. Every rivalry becomes something much bigger than the game. And here is the kicker. The drama works. It is growing the league. It is attracting new fans. It is keeping everyone talking, but it is also exhausting the people who came for the sport. The ones who simply want to watch great basketball without making every single moment into a social war. That is what makes this story so compelling, because Sophie Cunningham knew exactly what she was doing. She did not take down Angel Reese. She used her name to expose a culture that rewards controversy while punishing honesty, and that is the part no one wants to admit. This was not a slip of the tongue, it was a mirror, a perfectly timed, perfectly placed reflection of everything that the WNBA is today. Brilliant, messy, divided, and hooked on drama. Sophie's joke did not destroy Angel Reese. It destroyed the illusion that women's basketball is united. It proved that in this league, the most dangerous thing you can do is tell a joke that hits a bit too close to the truth. So the next time you see a WNBA headline erupting all over social media, ask yourself, is it outrage or is it strategy? Because in this new era, players like Sophie Cunningham are not just playing the game, they are mastering the media that controls it.
All cameras, all people will be tuned in for the Anika Pro-Am. Why? To see the GOAT, Caitlin Clark, take over the show. We have it here. Caitlin Clark will compete in the Anika Pro-Am. This is gonna be fire.
Let's talk about breaking news that is literally just showed up. I saw it come across my screen. Went over. I got an athletic membership that I've had for a while, which is now the New York Times. Ugh. Anyway, long story short, they have now announced that Caitlin Clark is going back to the LPGA Golf Tour. And it looks like she's going to participate in the same event that she was in last.
And the LPGA was promoting the crap out of this event. And they also did something really smart by pairing her up with their currently #1 golfer in the world. And her name is Nelly Korda.
Caitlin Clark just did the impossible. The WNBA's biggest star didn't just make basketball history. She is now breaking into golf. Reports confirm Caitlin Clark just signed a multi-million-dollar LPGA contract, and the entire sports world is completely losing its mind.
And the LPGA was so smart in doing this because they knew that there would be so many eyeballs on Caitlin. So if they put their #1 golfer, who is currently leading the sport and pushing the sport ahead, if they put her next to Caitlin for the entire event, that's just great. It's great for Nelly and it's great for everyone else. Honestly, just got so triggered by Caitlin Clark's golf debut, and it is no fault of hers that I got upset. It is the fault of the WNBA because the LPGA just did everything that the WNBA should have been doing this season. They did it all correct in literally one day.
November, but while fans are celebrating, one person is not: Angel Reese. The second this deal dropped, the internet went wild. Headlines, debates, reactions everywhere. Clark just became the first active WNBA player to get a cross-league deal this large. And Angel Reese? She's spiraling, because this is not just about golf, it's about jealousy, power, and a rivalry that is now spilling into brand territory, and it's only getting worse from here. Let us begin with what really happened. Caitlin Clark, the face of the Indiana Fever and the main driving force behind WNBA ratings, just signed a multi-year partnership with the LPGA Tour. This will absolutely break the damn internet. Not a cameo, not a photo op, but a real strategic contract that goes through the 2026 season. Sources claim it's valued between $6 and $8 million, including Nike golf endorsements, cross-sport events, and shared marketing rights. This means Caitlin is officially in 2 pro leagues at once: basketball and golf, and with a single announcement, she became the crossover queen of women's sports. For many athletes, that success would be inspiring. For Angel Reese, it was like gasoline on the fire. Moments after the deal went public, Angel tweeted, "I can play golf too, no tags." No context, but everybody knew who she was talking about. It was not subtle, it was shade. Fans immediately fired back. "Just say you're jealous. Clark's living rent-free in your head." The replies were brutal. Within minutes, Reese's tweet was trending for all the wrong reasons. It was not seen as funny or playful. It looked desperate. And here's where it gets interesting. Reese did not even mention Clark's name, but that has become her pattern. Every time Caitlin wins, Angel react. It happened at the draft. It happened opening week. And now it is happening again, because deep down, Angel Reese knows what this deal means. Caitlin Clark is evolving beyond basketball. She is building an empire while Angel's brand is stuck fighting these online battles. Caitlin's building generational wealth, and she's doing it without uttering a word. The contrast between them has never been starker. Caitlin Clark plays the long game. Her brand is founded on professionalism, humility, and consistency. She allows her performance and composure to speak louder than any tweet ever possibly could. Angel Reese, she has made her name through controversy. Her brand thrives on reactions, drama, and online chaos. But drama doesn't sell long term. Discipline does. That is why Nike, the LPGA, and every major sponsor keeps picking Caitlin. She is safe, authentic, and universally appealing. Parents trust her, kids idolize her, brands love her. Even golf fans, who rarely cross over with basketball, are celebrating her arrival. Analysts are calling it the best crossover since Steph Curry started swinging a driver. Everywhere Caitlin goes, ratings spike, tickets sell, and merch flies off the shelves. Meanwhile, Angel Reese is stuck battling a perception problem. Her critics call her entitled, her supporters call her misunderstood. But either way, the headlines are not flattering. Every time she posts, the internet divides in half, and not in the way that builds up a brand. The truth is simple. Caitlin Clark is changing how female athletes get marketed. She has become the blueprint for multi-sport female excellence. Basketball, golf, media, fashion, she is conquering them all. And that is exactly what is breaking Angel Reese, because this isn't just a victory for Caitlin, it's a mirror for Angel. Every piece of Clark's rise highlights Reese's weaknesses. Caitlin's focus versus Angel's outbursts. Caitlin's grace versus Angel's jealousy. One moves in silence, the other loudly, and in today's world, quiet power wins. It's not that Angel isn't talented. She is one of the best rebounders in the league, a fierce competitor, and a gifted athlete, but she can't escape the shadow that Caitlin casts. Every single time Clark's name trends, Reese is pulled into the conversation, whether she likes it or not. And this time, it is worse than ever, because Caitlin Clark did not just land another endorsement, she became the face of 2 leagues at once. And no amount of Twitter drama could ever compete with that type of legacy. By the next morning, Angel Reese tried to take it back. She claimed the tweet was just in good fun, but the internet was not buying it. The screenshots, the memes, the debates, it was too late. Caitlin Clark stayed silent. No reply, no shade, no press comment. And that silence made her look even stronger, because in an era where everyone is talking, Caitlin's power is derived from restraint. Every tantrum Angel throws becomes one more marketing win for Clark. Every insult turns into one more sponsorship opportunity. Angel does not realize it yet, but she is fueling Caitlin's rise each time she reacts. Meanwhile, brands are doubling down. Nike is already planning golf clinics and cross-promotional events. The LPGA is streaming tournaments at record numbers, and Caitlin's fate, it is everywhere. TV, merchandise, billboards, you name it. She is not just the future of basketball, she is the symbol of women's sports dominance. And the more people hate, the more powerful she becomes. But here is the real twist. Insiders say this LPGA partnership is only the start. There are discussions of a charity showcase pairing WNBA and LPGA stars together. Imagine Caitlin Clark and Nelly Korda teeing off side by side on national TV, while Angel Reese tries to smile through all the tension. That is not just a brand play, that is dominance in motion. And Angel Reese has a decision to make. She can continue fighting shadows online, or she can evolve. Because at this moment, her name only trends when Caitlin's does, and that is not sustainable. If she wants longevity, she has to stop reacting and start rebuilding. But as of today, there is no question about who's winning. Caitlin Clark is building an empire that nobody can touch. Basketball, golf, media. She is playing chess while everybody else is still learning checkers. So here's the question. Is Angel Reese watching jealousy destroy her legacy in real time? Or is she about to make the comeback of her entire life? If you're still watching, drop Clark to LPGA in the comments. Let's see how many people are riding with Caitlin to the end. This will be insane. Caitlin Clark just broke another rule. This time not on the court, but on the golf course. The WNBA tried to stop her, but she just did not care. What happened next left the whole league scrambling, fans furious, and the commissioner completely quiet. The story starts with a simple invitation. Caitlin Clark was invited to play in one of the premier events in women's golf, the LPGA Anica Pro-Am, a charity showcase filled with global athletes, icons, and celebrities. For any single player, it would have been an honor, but for Caitlin, it became a battleground, because behind the smiles and handshakes, reports suggest the WNBA commissioner herself attempted to stop her from playing. According to insiders, Caitlin was warned directly, "We do not allow this." Why? Because Caitlyn's brand had become too powerful, too quickly. Pro-Am tickets were only $25, but as soon as her name was listed, demand soared by 1,200%. The LPGA embraced her right away. They saw what the WNBA refuses to. Caitlyn is not just a player, she is a movement, a global icon, the sort of athlete who changes everything she touches. But the commissioner did not see a success story. She saw a threat, a player moving outside of league control, connecting directly with fans, and commanding a level of fame the WNBA could not contain. So when Caitlyn's team confirmed her participation, that is when the tension finally boiled over. Behind closed doors, the league pushed back hard. Reports allege she was told the event broke promotional rules, that she could be fined if she went through with it. Think about that. Fined for playing golf at a charity event. The same player who single-handedly raised ratings, attendance, and merchandise sales across the whole WNBA, now being punished for bringing more visibility to women's sports. But Caitlyn would not back down, not this time. Her coach, Stephanie White, stepped in, and that changed everything. She looked the league in the eye and stated, "She's going. You can't stop her." A head coach standing up to the commissioner for her players' independence. That's unheard of. That single moment drew a line in the sand. Caitlyn was not just representing herself anymore. She was representing every woman tired of being told what she can and cannot do. Fans instantly took her side. Social media erupted. Why would the WNBA prevent their biggest star from growing the game? Why punish the very individual who made people care again? Even WNBA owners reportedly questioned the commissioner's choice behind the scenes. The silence from league headquarters only made things worse. Meanwhile, Caitlyn handled it with pure class. When reporters asked about the drama, she smiled and said, "No one can stop me from competing. I love this game. All of them." That single line hit harder than any highlight because she was not just talking about basketball. She was talking about freedom, about breaking barriers in a league that sometimes seems like it is afraid of its own success. Then the event itself came, and Caitlyn proved her point. She played alongside world #1 golfer Nelly Korda and LPGA legend Annika Sorenstam, turning the course into a stadium of cheers. Fans lined up hours before the event. Cameras followed her every single move, and the energy felt bigger than basketball. The LPGA treated her like royalty, smart, humble, magnetic. They paired her with their top athlete because they understood this moment. Golf was not competing with basketball. They were celebrating Caitlyn's power to unite fans across different sports. And while the LPGA was trending for all the right reasons, the WNBA was trending for the opposite one. Headlines started pouring in. Clark warned by league. WNBA control prolonged. Fans demand change. Even sports analysts began to call out the league's insecurity. One commentator said the LPGA just did in one day what the WNBA couldn't do in an entire season. They embraced Caitlyn Clark's star power. The backlash became so loud that fans started asking a brand new question. Is it time for a new commissioner? Because while Caitlyn was out there smiling, playing for charity, and inspiring little girls everywhere, the WNBA's silence spoke volumes. No statement, no support, no acknowledgement, just tension. But here is where the story takes a turn. Caitlyn did not use this moment to complain. She used it to lead. She stayed calm, focused, and kind while still sending a powerful message through her actions. You can't silence me, you can't control me, and you can't stop me from inspiring others. That quote, "You can't stop me," spread like wildfire across every platform. It became a rallying cry for fans who were fed up with seeing women's sports treated like they require permission to succeed. Sponsors took notice too. Major brands rallied behind Caitlyn, praising her courage to stand tall in the face of unneeded rules. They saw what fans saw, a leader who is not waiting for approval anymore. And while the WNBA tried to limit her reach, the world gave her more power than ever. The LPGA gained record-breaking attention. Ticket sales shattered records, And Caitlin Clark proved once again that when she shows up, people care. Her success outside basketball sent a clear message. The future of women's sports doesn't belong to bureaucracy or outdated gatekeepers. It belongs to the players who aren't afraid to take risks. By the end of the tournament, even golf legends were praising her. Nelly Korda said Caitlin was incredible, smooth, composed, and just fun to be around. Annika Sorenstam called her an inspiration for all athletes. Meanwhile, the WNBA found itself in a public relations nightmare. The league that should have been celebrating Caitlin's rise was instead accused of trying to hold her back, and that is when fans drew their own conclusion. Maybe this was not about golf at all. Maybe it was about power, about control, about a league that underestimated the voice of one woman who refuses to be silenced. Caitlin Clark did not just defy orders, she exposed a system built on a fear of change. She reminded the world that leadership is not about restriction, it is about letting stars shine. And when the LPGA welcomed her with open arms, it showed exactly what the WNBA could be if it trusted its players instead of trying to control them. Now fans are demanding answers. Should Caitlin be punished for growing her influence? Or should the WNBA face the consequences for failing to support its biggest star? Because one thing's for sure, Caitlin is not backing down. She has already made that clear. She will keep playing, inspiring, and breaking barriers no matter where she goes. And as for the league, they can either evolve or get left behind. If you stand with Caitlin Clark, drop "you can't stop her" in the comment. Let's see how many fans believe in her right to play anywhere, anytime, without permission. About to get messy.